We've seen where we can put inline JavaScript, but how does external JavaScript work? How do you reference it? Well, it's not that difficult, as you'll see now. So all that external JavaScript means is that it's being referenced in an external .js file. So let's take a step back and think about what a typical website's folder structure may look like. You can have a config file, you can have your different models, your different API routes, your different views, your About Us page, your Contact Us page, your home page. And then you've got this folder called public. Within this folder structure, you'll have your index.html file. Your index.html file is the starting point of your entire site, and that's where the browser is going to start parsing your HTML, and that's where you need to reference all the JavaScript from. And then you may have other files within your folder structure, like package.json, which lists all your dependencies and all your external third-party packages. Don't worry about all of this now, the detail. Just understand that on a website, you're going to have a structure, a folder structure. Within this folder structure, you've got a starting point. That starting point has to be index.html. But let's look now at this public folder in a bit more detail. Typically, that public folder is going to contain your JavaScript and your CSS. And remember how we had that index.html file? We have to make sure that that index.html file references that JavaScript. And that's all that external JavaScript means. It just means we can write JavaScript in another file. We can even place that file in another folder. Here we've placed JavaScript within a folder called public. And your index.html still has to have those script tags, but those script tags now have to reference a JavaScript file that is located elsewhere. Simple, right? Once you get it, it's not difficult. You are probably sick of this code right now, and we are almost done with it, I promise. There's just one more thing I want to mention. Remember how we had to wait 5 seconds in order for this paragraph text to display on a web page? That was annoying, right? And you can imagine if you're a visitor to a website, you don't want to be waiting 5 seconds before you start seeing content on the page. How do we get around this? Well, one way is an attribute called Async. Async was introduced in order to solve this very problem. The only catch with using the Async attribute is that you have to reference your JavaScript from another file, an external file. So I'll show you now how to do it, just so you can understand how Async fits in and what problem it solves. So let's create an external file called main.js. You can call that anything you want. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out all this code and I'm going to place it in this new JavaScript file. That's all I've done. Remember to reference an external file. You need the source attribute, and we've called it main.js. And remember what I said? I said we just want async, the async attribute. What do you think is going to happen? This should solve our problem. Let's have a look. You see how the text was immediately displayed? Problem solved. And you can see the loading is just finished now, and that's when the JavaScript has been fully complete in the console.